I think what I'm going to do at this stage, other than actually, I would like to acknowledge that Phil, where's Phil? Phil, you did point out to me, which I didn't know until you did, the role that Senator Sanders had played back in getting minor league baseball to here many years ago with the Reds. I'm glad to hear that. I also see John Tracy here from Senator Leahy's office, so thank you for being with us this afternoon. And Paul Brune, who's had a lot of connections to the history of this ballpark too, and thank you all for coming. What I'm going to do at this stage is basically throw this open to any questions that the media may have. So the floor is yours, ladies and gentlemen.
What happens next to this facility? How would you like it to unfold?
Well, I think that in many ways how it will unfold becomes increasingly, you know, the role of the Lake Monsters. It's their facility now under this lease term, and they have the opportunity to take it where they would like to see it go, and that will be obviously to get some of the improvements done. From my perspective, I would rather see the money that was being paid into rent to UVM being used into improving facilities, getting other people on board to invest in the park and so on. So, but let Ray come and respond further.
We'd love to respond, and there's somebody here that needs to say a few words too. That's carried this franchise along, and I'm really proud of him. Kyle, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray. Sarcastically. So, you know, this is a great opportunity for us, and as far as the next steps go, you know, as John said, I think that at minimum, the rental payments that have gone into the facility will be reinvested back into the facility. There's a lot of things that we'd like to do, a lot of things that we have to do, and we just we look forward to being able to identify what those are. We look forward to going through and identifying the next steps for proper funding. Some of it will come internally, some of it will come through existing support that we get from some of our corporate and some of our fan base, and some of them are going to have to be unique ways to look at what we want to do. We're here for a while, and we hope that we can continue to be an entertainment option and continue to create the fan amenities necessary to keep going. We've got the best staff in minor league baseball now, and we're working very, very hard to do that. So we look forward to the next few years. Thanks.
I just want to follow up with a couple of other points that put Kyle on the spot and in the university and all, but I think in the next 2 months you'll hear a whole lot of what's going on, because we've just signed the lease today, and now we've got to step back and see what we really have to do this year. And in the next 2 years, I think you're going to see a whole lot of difference.
No. What's the status of the agreement when it expires at the end of this year? Have you had any discussions with them about extending it?
Yes, we have.
And the answer is?
Kyle will have a report, I think, in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Sure.
month?
Yeah.
How long? How long?
Probably in April.
Mid-April. Mid-April.
Nate says mid-April.
But it's positive.
After this agreement, I think it's going to be very positive.
I guess how important was this agreement in terms of sending a signal to the community, people that might want to be donating money? I guess how much did they read into this?
I don't have a clue about donating money. We haven't gotten very far of being able to raise a lot of money from the community. We sure have tried, and there are a number of people that are around this tent today that have really tried. It would be welcome, but it's certainly not going to stop us from making the improvements.
I know, Ray, you've obviously, since the time that you've arrived here, you know, the struggles, the issues that you've gone through, trying to make sure that, or trying to find a way to keep baseball here, to keep it going, exploring the options to move. You personally signing that document, knowing that the future appears to be secure for a long time going forward, what does this mean for you personally?
A relief. I think that I'm just as big a fan as most anyone, at least around this tent, and so I would have been very disappointed to have baseball leave. There were times in the last 4 or 5 years when Kyle and I thought it was going to have to be someplace else, relocated. There was a great deal of pressure from Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball that this facility just wasn't acceptable. And now with what John has done for us, it's our turn now to make it acceptable, and that's what we're going to do.
What was the annual rent payment?
It started out, I think, around $30,000, and with cost of living and all, I think it's 44, 45, 46, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Can you talk a little bit about, excuse me, you talk about the rent that has been paid and everything like that, and I realize you weren't president at the time, but one of the biggest criticisms has been the fact that all that rent was paid in and it was not reinvested into the actual field, that there's a separate account. Bob Corn was quoted as saying he doesn't even control it. I'm just wondering your thoughts as far as it was $375,000, I believe, in that account. That seems like we could have done a few things around here to...
Well, I think, I'm not going to reinvent the past. I can't change what has happened. I've sent a pretty positive message as to how I feel about things and how I feel about that relationship. And I believe that the steps that we've taken here give the Lake Monsters a base for success. I don't believe that means that University of Vermont's responsibilities end with the signing of this lease agreement. And if there are ways in which this institution can help this become a success, I'm quite confident we will seek to take those. There's still a lot of work to do, and that is obvious to all of us that there is a lot of work to do. But the reality is that if you look at minor league baseball around the nation, it's not really being done on the backs of public universities. It's being done in other ways, and that's part of the challenge. And if this helps us identify sources of support that will help the Lake Monsters be even stronger and better, then that's what I'll take pride in, and I'll do what I can in my remaining days to help that happen. But I'm pretty confident that so will my successors.
Obviously the budget is tight for you guys. I mean, talk about the $40,000, the terms of that loss. Will it make a difference? I mean, what happens to that loss of money?
Well, it always makes a difference, but sometimes you have to do the things that are right, even when they cost you money. And this is an example of that. And I think that I would rather see we'll make it work. We're a big place. We'll make it work. And the reality is, I would rather see that money going into uses related to this field than some of the other uses, which have been things like supporting students and scholarships. That's always the biggest single item in the UVM budget. So yes, it'll make things more difficult, but at the same time, we are an institution that goes forward and tries to do the right thing, and this is an example of that.
So, but for this agreement, team leaves? Is that what you're saying?
Want to talk about the heart of the head. The heart wanted it to stay, but as I said before, the pressure was getting so enormous from outside sources. Kyle and Nate can give you examples of teams that tried to pull the team, not play us here because of the facilities. And that was in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
The manager just said, I'm not going to subject our kids to this facility.
So it was close.
Very close. And other stories like that.
Ray, as we work our way now through, and the process is beginning now, as you said, from here, could you lay out for us kind of a priority list of what things you would like to see done and in what order you'd like to see them done?
Would you like to answer that?
Thanks. The lighting is a major problem right now. The lighting. We don't have power here right now. So it's a serious problem. The concrete is a serious problem. The dugouts are a serious problem. The visitors' locker room is a serious problem. And those things just have to be done, and soon.
What would that, do you have is there a number in mind all of that might cost?
No, but we're working on it because today's the day we signed the agreement, but we're working on it. We've got quotes. The lighting we're ready to do. I think the lighting hopefully is going to be done started in the next few months. The concrete is going to be done within the next couple of years. The dugouts have to be done this year. So some of those things just have to be done.
You say have to be done this year, dugouts. Is that a mandate from minor league baseball, major league commissioner?
It's a request.
It's a request from who?
Major League and minor league baseball as the visitors' locker room, as the lights.
Ray, when you say doing the concrete, does that mean putting seats in there instead?
That's a dream, not this year, hopefully next year.
And I won't ask about the press box.
I will.
I can't hear you.
It's very homey.
That's not a fan amenity.
Is there any chance Vermont high school baseball will play their championships here again?
We look forward to it, yes.
All right.
I have a question if I could.
Ray, on behalf of all the fans of the Lake Monsters, here's an autographed baseball from Johnny Pesky, which I hope you will cherish. I hope you're still a Red Sox fan.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing baseball to Berlin.
I had a question for Mr. Bramley, if I could. Soccer is moving over to the new stadium over next to Gutterson, and this facility behind us is not going to be used. How much longer is that thing going to be there? Is part of the plan to take that down? Has that been discussed?
That has been discussed, and we're looking at how we're going to resolve some of those outstanding elements as we go forward. Unless Dr. Gustafson might like to add anything to that.
Well, the field will stay for student rec use, but we're hoping that the stands will be going away before too long.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming.
John, my friend, thank you so much.
All right.
Let me tell you, folks, this is a special person, and the university and I are going to miss him.
Well, I'll miss some of it. Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much for coming.